Good morning. Today we will be seeing our product XaTTaX, how a GST invoice is raised in it on the sales side and on the purchase side, how the invoice is pulled out. These invoices are pulled out from the XaTTaX in the format in which it can be filed with the GSTN portal, and we'll see how filing is done in the GSTN portal. Now I am logging into our product XaTTaX. So this is the GSTIN in which we would be doing these transactions. I am selecting the particular GSTIN. Once we log in, this is a dashboard which shows the number of transactions on the GSTR1 side, on GSTR2 side. Now we go into raising of an invoice transaction. I am raising a sales invoice. I select a customer, say B Limited. All other details like addresses and other things are populated. I take the terms of payment as immediate, and I am doing an intrastate transaction with today's date. Okay. The invoice status, I put it as ready to transfer. That is, this invoice will be, once the invoice is done, the invoice can be transferred into a file or a format in which it can be imported into the GSTN portal. Here I add the item which I want to sell. Say for example, I want to sell basketball shoes. By default, the price is picked up based on the price list, and also the tax code is picked up based on the default tax code is picked up based on the master data, which is GST 5%. It shows that the total base value is 1100 and the tax amount, which is 5% on 1100, is 55. The total invoice amounts to 1155. Once this data is done, I just say it as validate. Once the data is validated, we can even print this invoice and see. It also shows the details of outstanding credits against this particular business partner and other details as required. So now we have generated the invoice. I'll just save the invoice. We see that this invoice is ready for transfer to the GSTN portal. Now I try to transfer this data for the purpose of filing, export this data for the purpose of filing. I have to export it for this period. Say I'll export it only for today's date, which is 21st December. You can give a range of dates for which data can be exported. For the purpose of this demo, we take the date as only today's date so that we can deal with this particular invoice. So as it is 21st December, the period will be December 12th, and this is the GSTIN for which we are pulling the data. Export for filing. Once I say export for filing, I can refresh the status to see the data is transferred. You see it was ready for transfer. Now it is showing as ready for transfer. So this is transferred to the module from which data can be filed to the GSTN portal. Moving on to that module, we see the GSTR1, we see our output transactions. There are 4 outward transactions in B2B, and it shows that one is imported successfully. One record is imported successfully. So this record is available. This record is available. Now we need to classify this so that it is posted into the relevant section. I do classify it. Once I classify it,
now we see that after we have exported the file from the invoice generation module for the purpose of filing, it is shown here like number of invoices in table 4 of GSTR1 or 2. Once I click on this, it shows those 2 invoices. We can observe that this is the invoice which was raised, and which is being pulled into this module for the purpose of filing. Yeah, so this is the invoice which we have raised. So just to reconfirm, I'll just open it and we can see that this is a B2B type of invoice and it's raised on 21st December. The total invoice value is 1155, of which 55 is towards the GST, of which 27.5 is CGST and 27.5 is SGST. So once this invoice is brought in here, we need to follow the regular process, like these records have to be submitted for approval. We see that it is shown as a classified record. Now I select this particular invoice and I say as approve. Once this is approved, we need to give the reason for approval. Once it is approved, it moves from the classified records to approved records. And the next option available is like we can save this record with the GSTN, so that the record will be transferred to the portal and it is saved against the GSTIN. So now once it is saved with GSTN, we do saving on a frequent basis, like say once in a day or once in a week based on the requirement of the business. Once it is saved with the GSTN, the next process is like it has to be submitted. Once it is submitted, no changes can be made, and after submittal it can be filed. That is the regular process. Other options available in this package are like you can get the data of GSTR1A from the portal. We can also generate GSTR2 or the purchase data and send it to the portal. We can pull the 2A data from the portal and we can compare the 2A data with 2 data, so that all the mismatched transactions are identified and you can take a corrective action against these mismatches. We can even generate 3, and we can also get the 3 we can also generate a 3B and do the filing, and all other ledgers are also available in this product. So it's a one comprehensive solution for all your GST needs, right from accounting, right from raising of the invoice, accounting it, converting into the format which can be accepted by GSTN, saving it with GSTN, submitting it with GSTN, and filing the returns with the GSTN. We can even arrive at the liability and we can do the tax planning of utilization of credit using this product. So all these features are available in this product.